What's up, gang, and welcome back to another edition of Road Tripping with the Rudes.
Hi, guys, and if this is your first time tuning in, welcome and thank you so much. Please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like this video. We've got more heat coming your way. Today, we are covering the Rudes real review of What If Episode 5.
Zombies.
What are your thoughts?
Alrighty. So, I was wondering how the zombies were going to come into play. And how they got... Actually, first of all, let me stop. I know y'all noticing your boy ain't got no hat on. Hats off to Marvel on this episode. That's why I didn't wear the hat. Because it's hats off today. But anyway, I was wondering how the zombies was going to get entered into the picture. Boom. They showed me. I liked the way they did it. I liked how they did it. Let's talk about it.
And guys, if this is your first time tuning in, we discussed the whole episode. There will be spoilers. We don't speak to each other while we watch. We wait until we're here to speak to you about it.
Yes. So, it starts off, it looks like, alright, we're, Hawk is in the Sanctuary, which is Thanos's... Actually, they weren't in Thanos' ship. They were in Thor's ship. But it looks like he's got sent back by Heimdall. That's how it starts off. He's coming down a little Bifrost. Goes into Strange's sanctum. And he's like, Thanos is coming.
So if you are kind of connecting or trying to correlate the what ifs to the MCU cinema, then that would be... That clip was kind of taken from Infinity War.
And that's the what if. So now, what if Hawk came back? What if Banner came back? Because he wasn't Hawk. What if Banner came back and he went to the wrong sanctum and the wrong dimension and everybody was gone? So he shows up. He's looking around. He's like, where's everybody at? Now, if you remember in Infinity War, when they leave out the sanctum, that's when Cole Obsidian and Ebony Maw show up.
Yep.
Which they did the same thing on this one. Ebony Maw shows up. He does his little spill when he comes through. Boom. So, but only one out there is Hawk. And he's trying to hawk up... Well, Banner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Banner was there. So, in the movie, when he arrives at the Sanctum, you have Doctor Strange and you have Wong. Now, it's completely...
And
empty.
they go get Tony.
They go get Tony.
Yep.
Now, it's completely empty.
Right.
When you see Ebony Maw show up, what were your thoughts as far as the animation and stuff? On point, right?
On point, as usual.
Yep.
I was like, okay, I like how they're taking this Infinity War story and flipping it, right? So then I wanted Banner to say, sorry, Earth is closed today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he didn't say that.
Let's talk about with this series. I've said this. I don't view it as an animation.
Okay.
But looking at Ebony Maw, I had to appreciate the animation.
Yeah.
Right? It made me think of, shout out to, and we'll have his information below, the 1/6 Scale Man, a family of ours. We were able to join his show, so we'll have some stuff. But he actually has...
in here too.
Yes, he has an Ebony Maw 1/6 figure, and it was like, it's amazing.
Crazy.
It's amazing. So you've got to check that video. So I stepped out for a moment in my mind and was like, you know what? This is amazing animation too.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I thought of this series as an animation.
So then once he steps out there and he sees him, he tries to Hawk out. And just like
He's
Infinity
yelling
War.
at the Hulk.
Yeah, just like Infinity War, Hawk's like, no, I'm not coming out.
When you saw the empty New York, did you think of anything?
I thought of how Endgame looked when they were showing it. You know, like ships were just crashed into the, stadiums were empty. That's what I got from it.
The emptiness, let me tell you something.
Like post-snap. It looked post-snappy.
Marvel is so brilliant. The thread throughout this episode, they were speaking to us. Right? It made me think of the footage we saw at the start of the pandemic.
Ooh, good, yeah.
I I should get a t-shirt that says I survived Maricacha's Times Square. But to see that area deserted, that was just crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you're right.
So you've got Ebony Maw, and he does his spiel.
Yeah. We are now children. You're going to be killed by the
Right.
children of Thanos.
Right? We see the rings.
He didn't even get
Right?
to say Thanos, though. Yeah, we see
Right?
it.
We see the rings.
Yep.
Now listen, we're still riding this Shang-Chi high.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The rings will get me excited.
Okay.
If you've seen Shang-Chi, but you haven't spent time with us, what are you waiting for? We'll include that.
Yeah.
So I was excited to see that. I loved Banner's trash talk. Oh, you guys are in trouble now. The Hulk never showed up. In this alternate reality, Iron Man did show up, but he was not Iron Man.
Right. So he comes out of the portal. He shoots Ebony Maw in the back of the head.
We're still thinking it's Iron Man.
Mm-hmm. With Strange and Wong. Right? Because you can see their silhouettes.
Who's all over there? Wong. Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Wong finally getting some action.
Yes,
you know
yes.
But anyway, they end up biting them.
No.
And Bruce is like, whoa.
Right. He's seeing the shadows. So
he's like, y'all ain't gotta go that far. That's a little overkill right there.
Absolutely. Full disclaimer. If you have young kiddos or if you are weak at heart, faint at heart, this episode is not for you.
Do you remember what the rating was? Or?
No.
Okay.
No. Comment down below if you know the rating. But
TV and Mac, we gotta go back.
We see it get a little strange. Pun intended. And
okay, man.
And then we see Tony turn around.
Yeah. With the ice grill.
Tombstone Tony shows up. And, guys, we do a What If What's Next every Monday. And it's live, so we interact with everybody. It's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:30 Pacific. And during the live, listen, I put it all out there. I don't know zombies.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen Walking Dead. We've never seen it. I didn't know the rules of engagement for zombies.
Right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, were you ready?
Well, at this point,
Wong?
So at that point, I'm like, Hulk better do something. And big shout out. I can't remember, was that Duran? I don't remember on our lives. I got to go back. But that was Justin. Justin said, I would like to see a zombie Hulk. And I'm
Shout out to you, Justin.
I'm like, wow, a zombie Hulk would be crazy. I'm like, we're about to get a zombie Hulk. Mm-hmm. In comes a bunch of bees, insects. I didn't know what they were.
Before that, though.
Okay, go ahead.
The true Avenger. The true Avenger in this whole scene, because Hulk called out sick, was Strange's cape.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. He put a cape on him. He was trying to save everyone, holding back the zombies. So, guys, it's strange, but it was a good fight scene.
Yeah.
Until I was not ready. I think it was a callback to Shang-Chi, but I'm not going to say it in case somebody hasn't watched it. Just off with his head. They cut Wong's head off. The cape knows how to maneuver in the rings.
Yeah.
Then we see like some insects, right?
Yeah, some insects come rolling in, and I'm like, all right, what's going on? I still wasn't sure, right? Because now we got the zombies. I'm like, what's happening?
I'm like, okay, are
Bruce.
do insects follow zombies? What's that about?
Yeah. I'm like Banner now. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
Right.
In comes the Wasp.
Wasp is not a zombie.
She's not a zombie.
She doesn't fight any zombies. She doesn't have that to do. Well played. Sometimes you live to fight another day.
Right.
She grabs Banner and removes him from the situation.
Yep.
Right? Life is coming at us.
And the cape hops on him.
Yes, the cape hops on him. So life is coming at us super fast here. We're working to coast.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, though, that the cape has a mind of its own? And he's like, I know I ain't trying to be with no zombie. I ain't trying to be with Zombie Strange.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
So, like you said, it goes back to, it takes you over to San Francisco now. Because we got to figure out where these zombies came from.
What happened? And you hear the Watcher Right? Well, yeah, because you hear the Watcher say 2 weeks ago, Hank Pym. Hank Pym goes back to find his wife after 30 years.
Hank Pym said, I'm going back to back.
Hank Pym never saw a pet cemetery. Guys, you don't... Some things need to be left
You know
alone.
what's crazy?
What?
Where was Hank Pym fighting Loki and Nick Fury at in What If, in that other episode? I do believe they were in the graveyard.
Yes, they were. He went to see Hank in a graveyard.
Yeah,
yep,
because
you're right.
Hope was in the grave.
Yes, because Hope was gone.
So how crazy is that? You know what I mean? With the zombie twist. And it's Hank Pym again.
Right. It was Hank all along.
Right.
Okay? So we see Hank go to rescue his wife. She's not the same after 30 years. Okay?
Yep.
She more than Stella got her groove back. Okay? She's in zombie mode.
Quantum Rona. She had the Quantum Rona. Yeah, she had the Quantum Rona, and Hank Pym showed up, and she coughed on him. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Guys, in Corey's mind, all roads lead back to Rona. And you know, if this is your first time watching,
Hank took his mask off.
We don't discuss what our thoughts are while we're watching. We wait to talk to you about it. So all roads lead back to Rona for Corey.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say that.
So she bites Hank Pym.
Hank still has. So guys, help me out here, if my zombie experts out there.
Yeah.
I thought zombies were like brainless, but Hank still has the wherewithal to get out of the quantum realm and come back to a hopeful Hope and a supportive Scott Lang. You hear him nervously, say, "Hello, Mrs. Pym."
Yeah.
Were you ready for Hank
to pop out?
Listen.
Yeah, I knew it.
Hank jumps out. Again, this is not for the faint at heart. Hank jumps out, and Hope does the right thing. She knows when to walk away.
Yeah, she shrank and got up out of there.
Sometimes you just need to be the fly on the wall. Pun intended.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Scott, we see Scott's attack. We see his hand like in the shadows. Very deep stuff. These are some deep cuts. What do you think about Marvel and Disney going out on that limb?
Well, I think they're going to have a great response from the zombies and how dark it was, because this was a great episode. So, this was their filler, right? They put the feelers out there. I think they're going to come back with good responses, and they're going to continue to go dark.
This has to be the bridge that brings together the X-Men, that brings together your Blades, that brings together your Venoms, that brings together... I don't know what to do with Deadpool, guys. That's not a bridge. That's going to be a bridge, a tunnel, and something else. But
he's a bridge all in himself, though.
So
he's going to be the bridge to the X-Men.
But I think it is a way to say, okay, let's do a temperature check with our audience. And guess what, guys? We are here for it. We are here for it.
Or maybe they was just preparing us for Multiverse of Madness. I feel like that's going to go a little dark, too. And it might all start with Spider-Man.
In the comic book, it does go dark with Multiverse of Madness from the clips that I've seen in little pieces. But you have the Watcher then explain that this happens in San Francisco, right? That's about 2 weeks ago. And then you have the Avengers coming to save the day. And you've got the OG crew. So you see a shot of our faves, right?
Well, Thor wasn't there.
You see Hawkeye, you see Black Widow, you see Cap, you see Iron Man, you see T'Challa. You see T'Challa. And
well, I wouldn't say I seen T'Challa.
You see Black Panther.
Right.
Right? I will say, I appreciated that. I did not want to see Black Panther in this episode, and I expressed that.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was T'Challa yet. You know what I'm saying? We see the Black Panther outfit.
Right.
But who is it?
Right. So, when Hank Pym gets tiny and gets a bite out of Iron Man, we start to see them become zombified. So you know Cap only has, his eyes covered. You see zombie Cap. You see Iron Man without his headgear. You don't see zombified Black Panther, and
Yep.
I'm here for it.
And
you
you
don't
know
see
what?
Black Widow either. Black Widow just disappears
Right.
after that whole thing.
Okay. That's one thing. And the other is, did we get the rules yet from Spider-Man
So
about the
then
zombies?
you flash. So you see that scene,
All
and then you see Spider-Man.
But hold on before you get there, because I want to say this. Jumping back, you see Spider-Man after the fact, right? But if you think about it and go back and apply Spider-Man's rules, Black Panther's totally covered.
He is. He is.
So you can't bite him.
You're in San Francisco. They jump back to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is giving you the rules of engagement with, how to stay safe.
And Happy Hogan's his mom.
Listen, he's got cardboard up. He's got, guys, let's just take a moment to give Corey his props for his editing. Because Spider-Man's intro was trouble, okay? I think I'd rather have been bitten by a zombie. But, shout out to Corey and anyone that's been riding with us from day one and watches all of our reviews or all of our trips. You'll see that he does specific intros for different things.
Mm-hmm.
For the what if, and I'm going to give you your flowers now. For the what if you watch through our intro, you will see that it goes from live action and you see the Marvel scenes, except you see pictures of us on our trips, right? And you see that it transitions from live action to animation. That's this guy. Spider-Man, call Corey.
I ain't gonna lie though. My favorite intro is the Shang-Chi one, so y'all guys gotta go see that.
Yes, check that one out. So you see Spider-Man and you see him have Happy Hogan and it says, I'm not single. I'm waiting for Thor. So you see the mention of Thor. You then see Kurt. So shout out to the Ant-Man team, right?
Yeah, ex-con security.
And you guys, I need Lewis to fill in as the watcher.
Yo, come on, man. They gotta give us Lewis explain the story.
Who would have thought that it would take the small screen to shine a big light on Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say that this series almost seems like the Wasp, her arc story. You go from her father avenging her death in one.
Yep.
And Black Widow saying it's all about hope.
Yep.
And then the theme in this one is hope.
Yep.
Well played.
Mm-hmm.
Because guys, I wasn't checking for the Wasp.
Well, again, they setting you up for that Quantum Mania. I mean, the title in itself, that's going to be crazy. Your homeboy Jonathan Majors is going to pull up.
Right. Yeah. So you have the Spider-Man giving you the Zombie 101, right? And you see those two. And then one of the things he says is, you completely cover yourself. They smell your pheromones, so hygiene is key. And then you see Bucky Barnes in the shower, right? Looking very Bucky-ish, right? And each one has like a little caption. Were you surprised to see Sharon Carter show up?
Yeah, I was.
Because I'm like, what's going on with the Madripoor?
Yeah, I was, because she was not in Infinity War.
I was happy to see how they kind of tied in all of the episodes. It was crazy. I guess, you see the nod to Thor, but in this episode, you don't see the Guardians. You don't see Captain Marvel. You don't see Thor. You don't see Loki. So it's very, guys, as crazy as this seems, because it's about zombies, but this is the most Avenger episode in my mind in this series.
You know what?
It was the most true to the Avengers that we've seen in this series.
And guess what they did right there? They planted the seed to let you know any of our superheroes can be Avengers. Like when I say Avengers, you just don't think of the original 6 anymore, right?
No, they're getting us ready.
Yeah, they're making sure that you're not tied to Iron Man, Cap,
Yes.
Black Widow, all of them.
Yes.
And I seen that happening with the previews for Shang-Chi, because they were saying Marvel's newest Avenger.
Yes. Yep. I really was here for it. So there, Spider-Man's there.
Mm-hmm.
You have the crew trying to figure out what's next.
And Spider-Man set his little hideaway out
Yes.
in spider webs, and it was train cars put together.
Yes. And then you have Hope and Banner show up, and then we have Okoye. Right? And, you know, Banner goes, "Find time for you to visit the States." She's like, "Listen, I'm not here for you."
No, he was like,
Where's my
this
king?
is like a horror movie. Don't y'all watch horror movies in Wakanda? He said, "Nah, we got American reality TV.
Yeah, we don't have horror stories. We have reality TV. I thought that was great. I love hearing Okoye and the banter because she's always good.
Yeah.
She's got some zingers there, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where we see... You know, they say,
she shows up. She's looking for her king.
She's looking for her king. They end up saying, "Okay, listen, we've got to go to Grand Central, right? We've got to." There was a false beacon, or there was a beacon, but the address was hidden.
Right.
It was some type of hex. Hex is something. Comment down below if you remember. Mm-hmm. A hex something that was blocking the signal. But then you have Sharon Carter say, "Oh, that's the original SHIELD headquarters in New Jersey." Mm-hmm. They're like, "Bet. We've got to go to Grand Central." That's where we see a zombied Hawkeye.
Well, hold on. Before you get there, they get in the van, and Okoye says to Happy, "I thought you were an Uber driver," because Happy was upset.
Happy was like, "Oh,
yo, I'm in a zombie apocalypse and I'm still driving."
That would be Corey, guys. Corey always wants to drive, so it doesn't matter. You know, be sure to be on the lookout. We were at Cedar Point, which is like a 6-7 hour drive. Corey was Happy Hogan. Okay, he was driving. He didn't let me drive. So yeah, I thought that was funny. And then how did they get...
That's my bio on my personal thing.
Right.
Uber driver for...
But I don't know how they were able to make the van large, small... yeah, like they were able to...
Yeah, I mean, they did that on...
the van.
Yeah, they did that on Ant-Man and the Wasp and all that.
I gotta tell you guys,
put the building
I've got to
in
watch it again. Yeah, I've got to watch them again. So they definitely make me want to watch. You then see... So you see Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't. You just see he's Happy
shooting some arrows,
with
right?
the arrow.
He's shooting some arrows.
And he get dragged.
So we lose Happy. We then... Were you ready?
Agent Carter gets hit, though. Next.
She gets pinned,
yeah,
right? But you then see Zombie Falcon. I wasn't ready for it.
He did fly in.
I wasn't ready for it. And then Bucky... So, you know, Bucky's seeing all of his homies. And Okoye doesn't care. Listen, Okoye's not here for any of you.
Right.
Okoye then treats Falcon like a platter of chicken wings chopped. Slices and dices. Ladies and gents, right in half. When I say gory, they brought the gory. And she says to Bucky, "I'm sorry, I know he was your friend." Right? She tries to be empathetic.
I don't know.
He's like,
"Listen, I'm
listen,
supposed to be sad or what?"
I don't know. You saved me, and thank you.
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
We're finally on the train.
But they had to rig it up to get it to work.
You see Spider-Man pulling the train, right? Holding down the fort.
Which, in the Spider-Man game, you have to do something similar to that. So I like that.
The continuity is like on a gazillion.
Yeah.
You then see Carter become zombified by Cap. And you see Bucky go, "That's enough for you right now, Cap." I was not ready for Bucky to take the shield.
Slice him up.
And follow Okoye's lead. Okoye went vertical. Bucky went horizontal. He cut Cap in half. Mm-hmm. No Cap. Literally. Literally.
And then
Hulk is the ultimate.
Well, then you get to see, Bucky wield the shield finally.
Yes, you do. And Hope does the ultimate. Mm-hmm. She sees that Sharon Carter is headed for Bucky, so she runs in her mouth. And then
flies
boom,
in her mouth.
She flies in her mouth, right? Boom, becomes big. Hope saves the day, but there is a kink in her armor. Right? You see the slash.
Yeah, but first she said, "I got Sharon all over me."
Yeah, I know. It was... Guys, I love a good dad joke. I love a good dad joke. I was here for all of them. They did bring the comic relief that I was looking for.
But after that, she, like you said, she had a cut on her.
She had that cut.
Which means...
she knew it was time. Banner's checking. Banner's like this. He's checking her vitals.
Yeah, Banner wants to make sure he can save her. They're on their way to try to get the cure. Her.
Spider-Man, she's like, listen, it's a wrap for me. Spider-Man's like, no.
Nah.
It's not a risk. It's hope. And he runs down everyone that he has lost. Parents, aunt, uncle. So now we know he lost his aunt.
It sounded like it.
Yeah, because he said Aunt May used to say.
Yeah.
What was that moment giving you? Did you feel so? It hit home for me.
I know what you're about to say. On Titan, I don't feel so well, Mr. Stark.
Well, no, not even that.
Okay.
So, hearing him say that, and hearing him want to fight, and hearing her say, how do you manage to smile after all of this? It really was, to me, a message of resilience. And being very close to the 20th anniversary of 9/11, being in the throes of a pandemic, I think it was a message for us to continue to hope. And to continue to smile. And Hope was willing to sacrifice herself for the big picture. So, in theory, Hope was willing to wash her hands and use sanitizer and avoid large functions and do the right thing. And do the right thing. So, I mean, she was okay with it. And Spider-Man was not. He was like, listen, I'm not losing anyone else today.
And then the train breaks down.
Train breaks down.
They gotta walk the rest
all
of the way.
around. What are they gonna do? Right. They can't get out. Okoye looks. She goes, we can't fight through this. For Okoye to say that, because Okoye is always ready down for battle.
Yeah.
That lets you know how serious this is. Hope says, you can't get through them, but you can get over them. And Hope becomes big. And Hope carries them through.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the writing?
Did you know she was carrying them through at the time you were watching it? I thought she was just going out there to clear a path for them.
No, I knew it.
Okay.
I knew it. I mean, can we talk about giant Giant Hope or Giant Wasp? Funko, if you're out there, I wouldn't be mad at a 10-inch Wasp. I wouldn't. And I need some zombie Funkos too while you're at it. But I just thought they then arrived to SHIELD headquarters. The original SHIELD headquarters.
All the zombies are stopped at defense. They don't understand why they're not.
Who drops that gem? Who drops that gem?
Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like, what's going on? And then your man Kurt is like, yo, Baba Yaga.
Listen, Spidey, you might have the Peter tingle, but I've got the Witch Watch. Kurt said, listen, Baba Yaga, shout out to Marvel, because that is a Slavic
or Russian, either one, folklore. It's a witch in that folklore, and that lives in a hut in a village, and it's on some Hansel and Gretel type stuff.
Yes.
Like she's trying to lure the kids so she can eat them.
Yeah. So
which kind of is the concept.
Well, that, and if you're speaking of a witch, who manipulated an entire town?
Right.
WandaVision. And you see a vision of love. You see Vision come down. And you see Banner go, Vision, you're a Vision. I was again here for the dad jokes.
And they don't attack Vision because he's not human.
He's an android.
Yeah.
He says, zombies, they're not checking for me.
Yep.
I don't have pheromones.
Yeah.
I'm an android.
Right.
You then hear Vision kind of do the talk.
The Mind Stone is what's keeping them away.
That's what it's very, very sketchy.
We see
Vision
we see a head on the chair.
Well, yeah, we hear Scott Lang, right? And at this point, they've seen some crazy stuff. But I don't think anybody was ready for a bodiless Scott Lang.
No.
Right? It was just the head. Everyone's like,
we're gonna come back to that Scott Lang too after you explain what's going on here, because I want to ask you a question. But go ahead.
Kurt is like jarred, right? You hear Scott Lang go, he's like jokes after jokes after jokes. And he says, I tend to process traumatic events with dad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, so true to what's going on right now. So many times and so much is going on that we literally laugh to keep from crying.
Right. So
right?
now, Vision is explaining how he's keeping the zombies away. With the Mind Stone and whatever frequency he has going on that is keeping them away. Oof. Wanda is in the back.
Mm-hmm. And Bruce says...
chilling.
Bruce says, as Vision's talking about a signal, Bruce finds a log, right? And he confirms, guys, we're not the first Avengers to respond to this signal. And someone says, well, where's everybody at? Bucky's gonna Bucky. All right, Bucky has trust issues, so Bucky's exploring the space.
He's like, let me find out what's going on.
Right.
And Vision's like, you're not going to find what you're looking for.
He looks in the creak of a door, or the crack of a door, and he sees what looks like a zombified Wanda, but we don't know.
Kicks in the door.
And then you have this lab, like very Frankenstein-esque lab. And we hear Chadwick Boseman. We hear T'Challa. And he's laid out. It, to me, was a callback to how Vision was laid out in WandaVision.
Oh.
In WandaVision. So when Wanda originally comes to find Vision, remember they had him in all different parts. We see that T'Challa has one leg amputated.
See, I thought that was my correlation. Because this Chadwick, he's from Wakanda. So I'm thinking about when Vision's on the table and they're trying to get the Mind Stone out of his head.
To me, it was more menacing.
Okay.
So it was more menacing. And then you hear Vision cop a plea, basically explaining that he's keeping Wanda, he's appeasing Wanda.
Now, this is what I need to talk about. Y'all, if I'm Vision and Nicole Scarlet Witch, deuces. I'm not doing that.
Listen.
Vision was simping. He was a simp, bruh. I am not doing that.
Vision went full-fledged. It's spooky season, so I've got to say it. He went full-fledged Little Shop of Horrors, right? Feed me, Seymour.
Nope.
Feed me now.
Nope.
And so, that was pretty jarring.
I'm out, babe. I'm sorry. You turned into a zombie. I'm out.
Listen.
Especially if they ain't coming for me.
This is what I will say. This was a payoff for WandaVision. Because we all wondered, would Vision have gone to those lengths for Wanda? And the answer is yes. As crazy as we thought that Wanda was to create an entire town in New Jersey.
Yep. He basically did the same thing. For Vision. Yeah. He quarantined
He creates a sanctuary in New Jersey.
He quarantined her.
Yeah. For Wanda.
Yep.
And he's feeding her other Avengers.
Now, when I was talking about going back, is that why you think Scott Lang just has his head? Do you think he was being fed to her?
So, two things. I think that's why Scott Lang only has his head.
And why T'Challa only is missing a leg.
I think he fed her Black Widow. I think he fed her Black Widow. And now she's snacking on T'Challa.
Yep. Okay.
The effects of this were crazy. And he knew. Vision knew that he was dead wrong. Right? I will say this. One more time again for Strange's cape. Because he attaches to Lang, right? And Vision goes, I can't leave her.
I know, man.
And
come on, Vision.
Then
you trapping. And then he kills himself, bro. Oh,
guys, I am never, ever, ever going to be ready for Gray Vision. Okay?
Yo, my man
I need Technicolor Vision. Gray Vision, no thank you. And he did it. He did it. And he gave the stone to Banner. Right? Banner at this point realizes that Vision's an android, so they couldn't mess with him.
Right.
If he was the Hulk, they would not mess with him.
Well,
right?
he didn't know that. They bit him, and the Hulk just came out and like made his arm green.
He hulked
right,
up.
So they didn't bite. So now he knows, like, okay,
so
they can't get me if I'm the Hulk.
They woke up Wanda, right? Wanda's all the way live,
getting busy out there.
You know, originally, let me back up. Originally, before Vision turns gray, they agreed that, wait a minute, we are very close to this cure. The safest place to be is Wakanda. We've got to go back to Wakanda because it's the only safe place right now on Earth.
And they have the technology to make the signal, to do the signal and blast it and broadcast it worldwide, probably.
Right. They're getting ready to go, and Wanda is Wanda-ing. She's like up high. She's full-fledged Wanda mode, but she's a zombie. At which point, Okoye says, go. And says Wakanda forever. Mm-hmm. And we lose Okoye. They still haven't left yet.
Right. They're trying to get the jet started.
They're trying to get... So then the Hulk's like, gives the stone.
Banner
gives the stone to Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man's like, no, I can't do it. I can't lose another one. Mm-hmm. And Banner says, then avenge us.
Right.
Avenge us. And he turns
walks out.
Epic fight scene between Wanda and the Hulk. Mm-hmm. So now I know that Baba Yaga, you can't beat the Hulk. It was getting pretty deep.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, so hold on, say that again for the people in the back. What'd you say? What'd you just say?
He wants me to admit that Wanda can't beat the Hulk.
Oh, okay.
Let me just say, it was a great fight scene.
And what did Thanos do to the Hulk?
We're not doing this.
I'm asking a question though. What did Thanos do to the Hulk?
I think the Hulk was going through some things.
Two pieces of a biscuit, yo. My thought process: if Thanos can beat the Hulk and the Hulk can beat Scarlet Witch, and Scarlet Witch can't beat Thanos.
I think there's levels to this. I will say this.
That's for all the Scarlet Witch people that think in Endgame that she got a piece of, you know what I mean? Like, okay. Whatever.
Listen, I will say this. I like the way and the state that Banner was in because I had some questions after seeing Shang-Chi. Mm-hmm. So I think there is some continuity there, and I appreciate it. You then have them head off. Scott Lang is just his head, right? Mm-hmm. And so he looks like the other part of the Headless Horseman. He's on the cape, and then he says a Harry Potter-esque spell.
I know. I was cracking up.
I was like, I don't, because Doctor Strange doesn't say spells. No. So I just thought that was hilarious.
He was like Wingardium Levioso or something.
I thought it was hilarious. T'Challa is finally able to get the ship working. They start to take flight. Lang is celebrating. And Spider-Man says, don't jinx it.
Yeah, have you not seen
horror movies? Here's the thing. Shout out to our friends that are big horror movie peeps, and we're not. Right. I felt like that was the energy. He's like, has anybody seen horror movies? You then see giant zombie Hope. Mm-hmm. Right? This is Scott Lang's first time seeing her.
Yep.
Scott is like distraught. They're able to get away.
You see, Scott was on my type of time. He seen Hope as a zombie. He said, oh, all right, Hope, it was a nice run we had, but, I got me this new little gear. I got my new fresh gear.
You see what I have to deal with? You start to see Spider-Man just deal with survivor's remorse. Which, again, we've lost so many people over the last 2 years. Yeah. That energy is real. Mm-hmm. And then you hear a line from T'Challa, and now I understand why this episode wasn't pulled, why they kept it there. You hear Chadwick say,
in my culture, death is not the end. They are still with us, as long as we do not forget them.
I mean, you say it all the time. Energy never dies.
Energy
right?
doesn't die, right? Energy doesn't die. And you then have the Watcher. The Watcher, you're real slimy. You're super slimy. The Watcher,
He can't do nothing.
I'm
man.
not a
What you want
fan.
him to do?
you know, when I was little, I used to love, as much as I loved animals, I could not watch nature movies. Because who are you to film and you're not going to save the deer? You're just going to let the lion eat them? I used to hate that,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's The Watcher. The Watcher clearly has worked for National Geographic.
Yeah.
And I'm not here for it. The Watcher says, and you know what's going to happen at the end, The Watcher. Why play us?
Right.
The Watcher says, even in the darkest times, humans will give their all to save their planet.
He's like to say their planet, but they'll destroy the universe.
Now,
And guess who was waiting?
Here's the thing. A zombie Thanos.
So my problem is with that.
Were you ready?
No, because if Hulk can't get bit, Thanos shouldn't be able to get bit either. His skin is strong, it's tougher than anything.
Listen.
All that for a drop of blood.
But he was able to produce a drop of blood.
Yeah, which is false, but I ain't getting into that.
For me,
they didn't keep that comic book accurate, but it's okay.
For me, when the Watcher says they'll risk anything to save their planet, and we are, in a global warming nightmare and a global pandemic, I thought, not in 616. Okay? Not here in 616. Can you take me to the planet where people actually care about the environment? Thank you. Please drop me off there.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, what were your thoughts on this?
Number one spot.
I can't even argue it.
Yeah, number one so far, man. My list, new number one.
Guys, like I said, this was the most Avenger episode. You got to see them team up. You got to see unification. Even if it was the zombies. Listen, the zombies had game plans.
Yeah.
All right? They had a huddle. It was just a reminder of how much I appreciate Marvel and the Marvel Universe, because I went into this prepared to hate. In my mind, Corey was going to talk this entire review. I didn't have anything to give you. Zombie what? Zombie who?
Okay, Jigga.
But you know what? Show me the zombie. I'm all in.
Nah, listen, yo, if it got Marvel on it, man, just go ahead and take my money. Period. They know how to make a story.
They take my money.
Yeah. Listen, they know how to tell a story. They know how to create a story. They know how to show me the story.
Guys, listen, I don't know what the next 4 episodes bring, but I know that I'm here for it. And I know that something tells me, I don't know, but something tells me that you're with it too. Mm-hmm. And if you are and you enjoyed speaking with us, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like this video, share it with your friends. Let's join in on a conversation. We've got 4 more episodes to go. If you have predictions and you want to just, flex your Marvel muscle, be sure to join us every Monday on the What If, What's Next. Again, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:30 Pacific Time.
That's right.
Guys, I'm going to watch it again.
For sure.
Absolutely. So, until the next time.
Hats off. Keep tripping.
Bye, guys.